Hey guys, John Fagan with eXp Realty, and one of the questions I get asked all the time, and especially in this market, is simply the question is, how's the market? And I think we all agree it's a different answer today than it was maybe 6 months ago, but let's think back to 6 months ago. Someone asked that question. It really depended on if you were a buyer or a seller, because if you were a seller 6 months ago, sure, the market was amazing. Multiple offers, no repairs, no inspections, no contingencies, selling way over list price. The market for sellers was amazing. But think about if you were a buyer in the last 6 months to the last year and a half, it probably don't say it was amazing. That was a tough market for buyers where you had to come in over list, competing with 5, 10, 15, 20 other offers or more for way over list price, no contingencies, paying cash over appraised value. I mean, that was a tough market for buyers. And obviously things have changed dramatically, but how is it different? What does it look like today? What do the numbers tell us? And is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? What is the market doing? So let's discuss that right now. So when we talk about the market, a lot of questions come about a recession and what would a recession mean to the housing market? And so let's talk real quickly and look at a couple slides here. But what a recession does not mean falling prices. Take a look at the last 6 recessions here. 4 of the 6 housing prices actually went up. And if the one of them that went down was only 1.9%. And if you take out 2008, because that recession was actually caused by the housing crisis. So of course, housing prices went down. That was a housing crisis. That's not what we're going through now. So if you take that one out, then 4 of the last 5 recessions, housing prices actually went up. And so that's what's also got house price forecasts for 2022. They recast these, I believe it was July, and now a lot of these were increased to think housing prices are going to go up higher than they originally thought. And so the average of these is 10.3%. And if let's say you took out this high one of 16% anomaly, you'd still get an average of 9.3% of these other 6. And that's the average of those other 6, thinking of forecasting home price appreciation for 2022. So that's good news there. What a recession does mean is falling mortgage rates. So all 6 of the last 6 recessions, we saw mortgage rates eventually come down. And so that's what can be expected. And you can see that in the mortgage rate projections. This came out in July of 2022. And it shows Q4 and then Q1, 2, and 3 of 2023. And what they expect, they're pretty level, slight decrease, not a whole lot, but we can expect those will probably come down even further once inflation is under control, recession is kind of past us, and it usually comes down further once everything's passed. So that's the good news, a leveling of interest rates, a little decrease of interest rates, housing prices still expected to go up, all good news there. So we said 6 months ago, the market was really great for sellers and not so good for buyers. So what is it today? Is it the opposite? Is it completely changed? Not exactly. It's still considered a seller's market, and how we dictate that is the months of inventory. How long would it take for all the existing inventory to sell if nothing new came on the market? And if it takes 6 months or more, it's a buyer's market, and 6 months is kind of neutral, and less than that is a seller's market. And right now, we actually have in Santa Clara County less than 2 months of inventory. So it's technically still a seller's market. Although I would say right now it's a good time for sellers, and it's actually a good time for buyers as well, especially looking back over the last 6 months, 18 months, when it was really tough for buyers. So what do the local numbers look like? Let's take a look. Okay, so let's talk real quickly about what's going on locally here in Santa Clara County. Our active listings are up. They're up about 30%. Okay, so we have 30% more listings, and the pending listings have actually gone down about the same amount, about 30%. So more houses available, things are selling, taking longer to sell. Actually 25 days on the market is the average days on market now compared to 14 a year ago. So things are taking a little bit more in the market, taking a little bit longer to sell. And then so our days on market is a little bit longer. It's not crazy numbers though. 25 days on market is still less than the 30 days on market, which was the average in August of 2019. So think about it as just going back to pre-pandemic numbers. We had a really crazy real estate market during the pandemic that was caused by the pandemic. And now we're kind of reverting back to what it was before that. That's what it looks like going forward. And we'll have to watch this over the next few months, but that's what it looks like right now. So what does that mean for sellers? It means, yes, your house is going to take a little bit longer to sell, but not a crazy amount. We're not talking about months and months and months. We're talking about the average is 25 days now instead of 14. So plan on a little bit longer. It means, yes, you might have to, you might not have as many offers. You might not go, you have to strategically price your house and prepare your house because you have more competition now, but it's still a seller's market. And again, if you held off on selling because you couldn't find something to buy, now you're gonna have more options. So for the buyers out there, yes, it's still a seller's market, but things are not selling as quickly. They're not having as many offers. Multiple offers are down. They're not going crazy over list. And guess what? A lot of times you can have contingencies, depending on the property, but you may need an appraisal contingency. You don't need to waive that and waive the loan contingency and appraisal contingency. So it's good news, even though it's still considered a seller's market, it's so much better for buyers right now. And rates have kind of pretty much stabilized. We're always going to see some fluctuations, but they've stabilized. They've come down from where they were the highest. And guess what? You find the house you want now, and if the experts are right and housing is still going to appreciate higher, you're better off getting in now, and then you refinance when the rates come down, which they expect to happen as well. So for buyers, if you're out there, if you're on the fence and it's really time, but you're just hesitant, now's really a good time to jump in and get off the fence. And for sellers, it's still a great time. If you've been thinking about selling, then reach out. If you have any specific questions, real estate's very personal, whatever your situation is. Are you thinking about a move out of state? Are you buying your first house, an investment? It's very personal. So if you have specific questions about your situation, please reach out. We'd love to talk to you and answer any questions you have. I'm John Fagan with eXp Realty. We'll see you next time.